Hey guys, welcome back to another episode with the PodKAT. As always, I have with me my boys, my co-hosts, Kaidi and Andrew. Toasting, how have you guys been?
Man, happy to be back, man. It's been a long time, but happy to be back finally.
Yeah, doing good. Not so happy that sports downtime is coming
Mhm.
up. But
Yeah,
outside of that, yeah, definitely happy to be back. And I'm so happy Arsenal didn't win Premier League. So yeah.
yikes.
we
We go
couldn't
again
wait.
next year.
We couldn't wait to record an episode after that, man, because Andrew was talking a lot of shit
A
throughout the
lot.
season.
True. Somehow,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. You had a lot of
Somehow.
you had a lot of things to say. We can all agree to that. You know,
True.
you had quite a few
Would
things
have
to
been
say.
dead if Arsenal won. Like I know Andrew
Facts.
was timing
Facts.
was like, bro, it was just timing. If Arsenal won that league, yeah, this
But
podcast would have been
Facts.
done for like
Kaide,
Holiday like this, 2 years holiday.
no, Kaide, honestly, I think Andrew is the kind of Arsenal fan that like you and I can deal with. Like, except when he wants to be like ridiculous. But on like a
Yeah.
normal average day where we're discussing with Andrew, like we have reasonable conversations. Like
oh
he's not
yeah.
a delusional Arsenal fan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
And the thing is, I used to be delusional, but the thing is, you have to ask yourself, like, what are you really doing? Like, what are your priorities as a football club, as a football team? It's just to win trophies. So if you are bragging and you're not winning trophies, it's like, are you really serious? So there was a time I even left Arsenal to PSG because I was just like, I'm tired of suffering. So I went to PSG. I was enjoying treble every season, you know. But then later on, I'm like, bro, the reason why I love football is Arsenal. So let me just go back and then I'm going to support them now with like a good perspective of where we are now and what we can get.
mhm.
So during this season, I was just hopeful. You know, every time I was chatting in the group chat, it was more like, oh, there's a chance that we can do it this time. Like it just feels more real. But I'm not going to be like, oh, we have the best player in the world. We're winning this. Saka over everyone. That's not logical and that's not real. That's not realistic. That's just like, all those
But,
kind of weird Arsenal
Quick
things.
question, Andrew. Sorry to cut you off, Kaidi, but quick question, Andrew. Did Man U have a better season than Arsenal when you look at everything? Like at the end of the day,
No, obviously, Man Utd have a better season than Arsenal in any way. Yes, they won the FA Cup. Doesn't mean they had a better season. But football at the end of the day is looked at by the rewards that you were able to accomplish at the end of the season. So if you win the second biggest trophy in the league, or sorry, in the nation, you therefore had a better rewarding season than Arsenal. But if you look at it as a whole, the football that was played, obviously, Man U did not have as good enough as Arsenal. But at the end of the day, it's rewards that matter. No one really cares about how impactful your season was or whatever you did. So as an Arsenal fan, I'll tell you, Man U did not have a better season than Arsenal. But realistically, they were rewarded more, and therefore they had a better season than
yeah.
Arsenal.
yeah,
So
I
that's
like
just
that. I like
Yeah,
that.
I think that's such a good question because someone asked me that question and I honestly was like, see man, that's a tough um question to answer and it just depends on who's answering and how well they answer because prior to that final, you can't tell me you can't tell me you watch mine this season and you tell me they had a better season than Arsenal.
exactly.
But it's like when it's all said and done, it's a thing of who won, right? And to Andrew's point, they had a trophy to, they had something to show for the season, whereas Arsenal had the better season but nothing to show, right? And I can't remember I don't know who said it actually, but there's one of these pundits, right, where it's like the sad thing about Arsenal is I think something about them being good losers or something like that, right? And it's like
Oh yeah,
10 years from now, no one's going to remember anything. Like you get the way we
yeah.
remember this
I
vividly, no
think it
one's going
was
to remember anything.
an Arsenal legend that said it was what's his
Can't
name now?
remember, I've forgotten. But I know who to, but I
Was
can't
it
Yeah,
remember.
right? It wasn't right.
no, the
No, no,
other
it
one
wasn't
is
right. It wasn't
is
right.
it was a
Was it
DM
Petit?
Petit. Yeah, it was
It was
a Petit
Petit,
that
right?
said it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
He
it's just
literally
like
said it. Yeah.
yeah, so it's like 10 years down the line, you're just going to look at the seasons like, Man City won 4 in a row. That you're not
Will be
going to remember like,
forgotten.
oh my god, like Arsenal put in such a fight, like what a team that was. Like, bro, no one cares,
Yeah,
man. There's no trophy to show for it.
yeah.
The only the
Sorry, but he's wrong because we're still talking about Liverpool's 90-point season
exactly.
without winning till
But
today.
90,
We're
but
not going to
90
forget
is
about it.
and those
Yeah,
are
It's
90
the same way.
points.
It's the
yeah,
same
but
way.
Andrew, realistically, right? Liverpool fans are the ones that always bring up that conversation, right?
No, honestly, I think every time the season gets into like February, people start saying it like, "Oh, Man City gets into this drive and they can't stop them." Remember Liverpool? Like everyone's telling you, "Remember, remember."
But we're still
No,
in
It's
the
like,
thick of it though. When you think of it, like this is
yeah,
still is the same era, right? So it's
it
easy
will
for us
happen
to
next year
still
again.
bring it up.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I get what
Like
you're
you know what
saying.
I'm saying, like 10 years from now is no like I don't think those conversations will still be had. The only time I think that conversation comes up again is when you're looking at top 10 points in Premier League history, and then you're
True.
seeing Liverpool turn up on that list, and it's like, wait, they scored 90, they did 90 this, 90 that, and they didn't win the league. And that's when I feel that conversation comes up.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I know the reason why it wouldn't come up is because when we look at what Klopp has achieved for Liverpool and everything, no one talks about, oh, he achieved a 90 plus season, right? We talk about
Yeah.
he won us the Premier League, he's won us the Champions
Mhm.
League once, but in the span of time that Klopp was at Liverpool, he was only able to win the Premier League once, right? Obviously,
Mhm.
we know, and that's why he's been like celebrated so much. Like that's why we're seeing so much coverage about Klopp leaving because as people that watched it, like watch Liverpool go against Man City, we saw Liverpool beat Man City like 4-1, 3-1. We saw those games. But trust me, 10, 15, 20 years from now, no one's going to be talking about, oh, how close they were. We're going to talk about how Man City dominated the Premier League for like 8 years in a row, like winning like 6 out of 8 seasons or something like that. Like those,
Yeah.
that's the conversation that's going to be had, unfortunately. So
Yeah, and one last point to make for we move on from this, right, is like even see Chelsea for instance, like the joke people run on Chelsea a lot of times is, oh, Chelsea were nothing um
Marino.
before Mourinho and Abramovich era, right? But if you go back and look at what Chelsea was doing then, like you would see Chelsea in top four. Do you get what I'm saying? You see Chelsea in finals, you see Chelsea in all those places. But again, those trophies were not there to show, right? Do you get what I'm saying? Like we're not winning, we're close, but we're not winning. So for most people, it's like, bro, no one cares that you were competing. Like we'll still run those jokes on you because again, the Premier League titles that started coming in after after Roman bought your club, those were not there before. You know, again, we're calling you a nothing club. Like, okay, sure, there's some banter to that and some digs to that, but it's like at the end of the day, you guys weren't winning anything. So, if we're claiming you were a 17th place club, no one is actually going to go and check that stat to see, oh, what were Chelsea actually doing those years? You were not winning, and that's all that matters, right? So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, going into today's topic or like the plan for today, to start as usual, or I guess as more recently, we always want to start with something light. So I have a game in store for you guys today. So we're going to have Tosin versus Andrew.
Okay.
Um,
I won the
so
last time, right, Kaidi?
no,
No, I
no,
don't
no,
think
no, no.
anybody won.
Last time you guys were working together, but this time you guys are going against each other.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true.
No,
That's true.
no, no cheating. No internet. Just answer
Oh no, no, no,
immediately.
I have a timer with me, 5 second, five
Bless,
second
bless.
timer. So anyway, so for everyone listening, the little game we're playing today is just, I'm going to ask both these guys questions. We're approaching it to a certain extent, like call it a penalty shootout, right? First to five, um, call it 5 goals, but here answers. And what's going to happen is to start, I'm going to think of a number in my head, and based off of that number, Tosin and Andrew would also give their guesses. Whoever is closest to the number I have in my head starts, and then once we go, then we go from there. So whoever wins that answers the first question, and for everyone that misses a question, the other person gets a chance. Once they both miss the question, it's off the table, and then I would share the answer. Okay.
Perfect.
So
Okay.
I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 20, 1 and 20 included. And then yeah. So let me see. Okay, I've picked my number. So Andrew, you can go first.
Then,
Tosin.
17.
Wow. Tosin got it right on the dot.
bro, what the hell?
Wait, why do you even get 17? I'm curious.
You're my brother, nigga. I know this shit.
17 is crazy for you to get, man.
I chose 17.
That's not a
Just
good way to start,
that's
though.
Hazard's OG number. So yeah, I had to go 17.
Who cares about fucking Hazard, man?
Yo, chill, bro.
Damn.
Chill.
Hazard is a very good example of what we are talking about before now, but I'll just put that aside for now. But it's a very good example of what we were just saying. But the people that are listening, you get. But okay, you can start your question.
Okay. So question number 1 to you, Tosin. Which team did Liverpool beat in the 2005 finals of the
AC
Champions
Milan.
League?
Why
Correct.
did you rush? We know say that you see now. Calm down.
I don't even want him to start the timer.
Andrew, you don't want to give this guy
Yeah,
any
like what's
any
up now?
chairs
Like,
when he-
We have you ask individually, there's no, or are we just rushing to answer
No,
for
I am,
you?
but I'm saying like you
Oh.
don't clap for him or anything.
if
No.
I miss it,
Oh,
yeah,
I don't
like,
forget.
See
Remind
this
me now.
guy,
I don't
man.
forget.
of
I was
course you
wondering,
forget.
like,
Of course you
okay.
forget.
Congrats for that. Let's just give him a round of applause.
Okay, so 1-0 to Tosin. So Andrew, back to you.
Okay.
Who was the first player to score 100 goals in the Champions League?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Correct.
Reload.
That's
I
too
like this
easy,
thing clapping.
man. That's too easy.
Clap for me, please.
That's too
So
easy.
that's 1-1.
Mhm.
So you don't think that Liverpool question was too easy for you?
See this guy.
But that's the first penalty shot now. It's meant to be light-handed. So, anyways, back to you, Tosin. The next question here: who's the youngest player to score in a Champions League final?
Messi.
5. No, wrong. Andrew?
Wait, he got it wrong, no?
Yeah, you got it wrong. So you have your chance.
Okay. I think it's Champions League final. Wow, I don't know.
Time up.
Eto?
So the answer is Patrick Kluivert.
Oh, Clever did it like 19 or so, yeah?
Yeah, something like that.
Damn.
I'm not even sure
I would never
what
have
his
thought
actual
about
age was,
that.
but
Yeah,
definitely.
bro. Honestly, you have given me like 20 chances. I won't have
Yeah,
gotten it.
I'll never remember.
Like-
But I remember that start from somewhere, but I'll never remember that now.
Okay,
It's
so
crazy.
anyways,
I thought.
Andrew, you're next. You have a chance to go up here.
Chance to get a clap or a drum.
Question here is, which country has produced the most different Champions League winning sides or winning teams?
Oh, okay. Most different.
So which country? Yeah, so based off of league. So like how we have
Yeah,
different call it top 5 leagues. So
Yeah.
like which country has produced the most
England.
Champions League winning side?
England.
Spain.
Wrong. So the answer is Italy.
Italy. Yeah.
Yes.
Whoa. I actually don't believe. Can I
Italy.
challenge? So what's the
Bro, you
start?
challenge? What do you mean was the start? I would have to pull up the stat, but like all the research has been done before. Italy has the most.
Next. Don't mind this guy. Don't
Italy
mind
has
this
the
guy.
most. Italy has the most.
No. Hold on now. We have like Chelsea, Man U, Man City,
Man City, Liverpool.
Madrid
Liverpool.
alone have like 15 or
No,
16.
but it's talking about different teams winning it from the same country.
I know, but like I think if it's by rank, it would be Italy, Spain, and then England. Like, because between Italy would be like AC Milan, Inter
England
Milan.
will be
Like,
No, he's
second,
talking
I
about
believe.
different
Because it's not how
countries.
many is how many. So it's
Different
like how many
teams, not how
different
many
teams
you've
have won it,
won.
not how many
yeah,
in total.
I literally just said AC Milan, and what do you mean? I don't
No,
understand.
Spain is only two teams have won it from Spain,
Yeah.
Barca and Madrid. So they'll be
That's
like
it.
last.
Yeah.
So like it's different clubs. So Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest.
Have won Champions League.
Not European trophies though.
Oh, champs.
Champions League.
Yeah. That's what I'm
okay,
saying.
okay.
So you have AC Milan, you have Inter,
So
you have
Italy,
Juve,
Italy,
you have
definitely.
So
That's it.
anyways.
That's it.
But I think Barca and Madrid alone will probably have won more than all the English teams, no?
Yeah, they have for
Yeah.
sure.
Just Madrid alone has one more than all of them.
So that's what I'm saying. So probably England will be the last.
No. What you're saying is how many different teams have won.
Teams have won.
So what league has
Oh, okay.
not how many
Oh,
titles?
so I
Yeah,
didn't
so how
Yeah,
understand
many
the
different
question.
teams?
So I didn't
Okay,
understand the
okay.
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next one. So it's 1-1
Yeah.
still.
So it's still 1-1. So back to Tosin. Question here. So who scored the hat trick for Barcelona in the 2015 Champions League semi-final against Bayern Munich?
Against Bayern Munich,
Yeah.
a hat trick against
Yeah,
Bayern Munich.
who scored a hat trick for Barcelona in the 2015 Champions League semi-finals against Bayern Munich?
Suarez.
Wrong. So Andrew, to you.
Lionel Messi.
Yeah, correct.
What the hell?
What do you mean? What the hell?
I expected you just guess
Come on.
Messi, man. Because why not?
Just guess Messi.
Yeah.
Just guess Messi. Who's scoring
Yeah.
hat trick again in Barca 2015?
Well, Suarez is a good guess though. Because Suarez is
Was-
very capable of that, anyways.
I
Was
thought
he even
Neymar.
there?
Or was he? Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it was still
Was he in
Liverpool.
2015?
He might have been, but
Suarez?
anyways, moving on. Andrew, so back to you. So you're up to 1.
Yeah.
Who was the
It's what it is.
first? Who was the first English club to win the Champions League?
I didn't even need to even like answer this one, but I'll just say Man U. No.
Correct. Man
It's what it is. I just do this, Thanks.
So-
thanks.
U. So Andrew 3-1 up.
Yeah.
Toasting back to you. Which manager won the Champions League with Inter Milan in 2010?
Ancelotti.
Wrong.
Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho.
Andrew up 4-1. Yeah, wait.
That's funny, man.
Ancelotti has never. I didn't manage Inter.
I don't think so. Was it
I don't
Milan?
think so.
I'm just
Yeah,
joking.
but
Man. I'm
anyways,
messing around. I'm messing
Andrew,
around.
Andrew 4-1 up. So Andrew, this is your chance. This is the final. You know,
True.
potential final penalty of the game. For you to
My first
go.
W in this
go on and
podcast
win.
history.
So damn, this one. Who scored the only goal in the 2010 Champions League final for Inter Milan?
Thiago Motta.
Wrong.
No, I don't know. Eto or
Tosin?
something. Oh, Diego Milito. The fuck? Sorry.
You can't do that. You can't do that, bro.
Oh, sorry. I forgot.
Actually, let me think.
Actually, Tosin.
It's fine.
Let me think. Milito.
These guys.
Correct. Clap. Thanks.
There's a crowd. That smells. You know what's funny? With this Milito thing? That was obviously the only name that came to my mind first. But I was like, was it 2010? Then I now said, Thiago Motta for no reason. And I thought about it again, like they didn't even win it after, so it's only Milito. And then when he said 1 goal, I think he scored 2, not 1. But anyways, he scored 2 in that final.
Yeah.
It was 2-1. It was a 2-1 final, yeah.
For real?
Can't be 1. Milito scored 2. Maybe final or semi-final. I could be wrong, but I know it's scored 2.
Next, please. Next,
One
guys. It's just
Okay, anyways.
Yeah, let's go.
So not last. So now back to you, Tosin. You have a chance to make this 4-3 and
He's getting to come
let's
back.
get things rolling. So the question here for you, Tosin, is which club did Barcelona beat in the 2006 Champions League final?
Man U.
Oh my god, bro.
Wrong.
Juventus.
Wrong.
That was a lie. So
2006.
Bro, it was Arsenal. Are you
Wait, this is
joking?
2016?
6.
I 2016.
Bro. Sorry, bro. I said 2006.
That's
So
what I
what
said
did you
you
hear,
be.
please?
I had
It's fine.
2006.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's
So
fine.
it was
2006 is Arsenal, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you knew that. Well, I
I
guess
said
it makes sense. It
2016.
makes sense that you hit 2016 because
But it's
Arsenal
fine.
fans won't forget that year. Anyway, so so back to you now, Andrew. This is your chance to win once again.
I actually put the failing sound on my own answer before.
Which
but I didn't even
player
know.
Which player scored a famous volley in the 2002 Champions League final for Real Madrid?
Zizou.
And there it is, folks. We have our winner,
For those at the back.
5-2 to Andrew, and he wins by a landslide. Tosin will be back next time.
I feel like I
Yeah.
was cheated there. Like that last question was too easy, man. Too easy.
Hey,
You
okay,
know,
give him, give him,
you miss some easy
give him
questions,
I
though.
mean,
bonus.
no, it's good.
Give him
No, I
bonus.
don't. I don't need. I'm not.
Hey, hold on. Hey,
I'm
hold
not
on
good.
for
I'm not a
Bella.
good loser. I'm not a good loser like Arsenal. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Give him bonus. Just give
I'm
him
not. No,
bonus.
I'm
Hey, hold
fine.
on. Hey,
I'm
he's on
fine.
brutal link up.
I,
I'm not. No, no, no.
I
I'm not
have
a good
one.
loser.
I
No, I'm
have
not a good
one.
loser.
Before we move on to our topic for today, I have one bonus question for you guys. So this
Yeah,
one is obviously no points, just one
Winner
more
takes
question I
all.
had. Hmm.
the class.
So who is the only player to win the Champions League with 3 different clubs?
Sit off, Clarence. Sit off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're right. You're
that
right.
one
You're
was
right.
light. That one was light.
You're
There's
right.
another player, but the issue with that player is he didn't play
Yeah.
any match. It's Eto, but he didn't play any match for Real Madrid, so they won't
Yeah,
count it.
funny, but Rudiger has won the Champions League with two different clubs now. So
Yeah.
his name. Yeah, he's gonna start
Yeah,
making
if he moves to
um
Bayern, he can
But
make
there's a
third
lot.
one.
But there's a lot of players with
Two,
champ for
yeah,
2 different clubs.
for
So
sure, for
yeah.
sure. But
three
just
three is
Ronaldo and
where
Co.
that third one is where is tough.
of course, but props to him, man. Props to him
Yeah, and
because he
he's been
started in both, right?
exactly he's
Yeah,
been
it
key to
was a
both.
key
So
player in the three of them.
yeah, but anyway, so moving on to topic of discussion for today. So as you guys probably noticed, that was a Champions League themed penalty shootout of or question shootouts, as I should say. And then obviously at this point, everyone has watched and seen what happened to Dortmund. Let's get your thoughts, Tosin and Drew. That fine.
Yeah. For me, I kind of figured that Madrid were always going to win, and I just felt like it was inevitable. Like I just felt like they've won like almost every single Champions League final the past, I don't know, like 10 times, or I mean majority of the times that they've been to the final they've won. Whenever they're facing a smaller team, Madrid have always found a way to win. Like they're a
Yeah,
big team, they're known for winning the Champions League, and they're respected. Like their opponents fear them. So in a situation where like Dortmund didn't take their chances earlier in the game, I always knew they were going to get punished. It was unfortunate that they conceded a corner, and then I think the second goal was
they
just like
sold.
a misplaced pass,
Yeah,
so that was unfortunate. But again, against a team like Madrid, if you don't take your chances, they're definitely going to score one goal in a game. So
yeah. And to the quick star you mentioned, I believe I think prior to yesterday they had won 9 straight Champions League finals or something like that. So it's very hard to compete against that. Yeah. So Andrew.
Yeah, as Tosin said, I just feel like they had the opportunity with them to win. Like Dortmund had everything in their side, especially in the beginning of the game to win the game. And I feel like when those chances were not entering, hitting the bar like in like 2 occasions, I feel like it went into their head and started overthinking. Like the second chance Adeyemi had, the first time he did it, he hit the bar or he was very close to the goal. Second time he didn't even shoot, he just kept running. It's like you're not overthinking what you would have just done normally with your instincts. And I feel like that's what happened to them throughout the second half. They were just overthinking everything. And as we said, like in a couple episodes back with like that pressure, that underdog pressure, like first half, Madrid were the underdog. So second half, Madrid is like, bro, we have nothing to lose. Let's attack these guys as much as we can. So in that moment, they have the momentum. I think we're speaking about
Yeah,
momentum.
momentum. Yeah,
So
yeah,
that momentum was in Madrid, and then the Dortmund guys started fearing. They were playing scared, and that's when that kind of pass happened as well. And because you
yeah,
don't make those kind of passes normally, and then it just made that kind of flop. And Madrid were already in their head, and it is what it is at that point. Like the experience came in, the heritage came in. Just you get to these stages, even if Dortmund was leading 2-0, Madrid will still be charging at them because they believe that we can still do this thing. But Dortmund, they're just like, man, we're just here, bro. Anything that happens, happens. And they're just like taking it all in at the same time. I feel like that, heritage and all that is kind of what helped Madrid going forward in that game. But I like
Yeah.
the fact that it ended the way it ended. I feel like it wasn't really embarrassing because it could have, it could have been like 4-0, 3-0 kind of thing. It was a good way for Dortmund. It's unfortunate that Dortmund is still hunting for their second Champions League to date, but it is what it is, man.
I
Happy for
mean,
Yeah.
everyone involved.
the fact that they found themselves in the station alone is good enough. Not good enough, but it's like
It's
it
something.
counts. It counts for something. They've had a great
Yeah.
season, and they
Yeah.
made more money by losing the finals than by winning it because of like
Yeah.
the clause that they have with Bellingham and all that stuff. But props to Dortmund, man. Kaidi, what were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I think the game honestly panned out how I expected. But Dortmund had more of a chance than I would have given them. Like I feel like that first half they had their chance to make it interesting, and if anything, give themselves a chance, right? Because obviously going 1-up against Madrid does not mean you're going to win that game, but then you
Mm-hmm.
have more of a fighting chance. And for all the underdogs we've watched, for all the European finals, that's it. Like, see at Atalanta, like them beating Leverkusen, they were taking their chances, right? They, 3-0. Do you get what I'm saying? Like from the first half, and they had like a lot of half chances in terms of like, they weren't like perfectly worked goals from the team or anything like that. It was like they were punishing mistakes and misplaced passes and things like that, right? So as an underdog, that's where you're going to win the game. Half chances and mistakes. You're not winning the game by being the better team. And Dortmund had their chance to do that, and I feel like they failed at that. And of course, second half, Madrid probably went in there halftime to regroup, and by the time they came out, it was time for them to like, it's like, oh guys, we've been poor, and it's still 0-0 now. But Madrid, time to take over, and that's exactly what happened. So
Yep.
better luck to them next time.
Yep.
But yeah, so I mean, on that
No.
note, no surprises there. Um, can honestly move on to our next topic of discussion here, which is another final. But in this case, on the other side, which is the NBA. Yeah, bro, Dallas versus Celtics is going to be a crazy final, man. Like crazy final.
Absolutely.
I hope Dallas win just so my, I don't. I think. Hmm? Yeah, because I had this little prediction. Andrew, I don't know if you remember this, Andrew. Just I think one of our discussions around me saying I just feel Celtics or Nuggets were winning, and I had Dallas as my dark horse. So if Dallas should win, I would milk that. I'll milk
Yeah,
that
yeah. I remember when
that
you said that.
prediction.
I remember when you said that. I honestly like how it's gone so far. I really, really want Celtic to get an ass whooping. Not because I hate them or because I hate them. I just can't fathom the idea of Jason Tatum being like an NBA champion with a ring. Because it just goes against everything we've discussed throughout this year, podcast wise. They've had a lucky run, sorry, an easier run to the final. Dallas has had like to go through heaven and earth to get to the final, technically, except for the conference finals, was fairly easy for them. But even every game that they won against the Timberwolves
Man,
was still very close.
I mean, I won't say easy. Like the
Comparison, just
scoreline
comparison.
obviously suggests it's easy, but I wouldn't
It's
say it
four
was easy,
one.
man, for
It's
Dallas.
4-1. People will say it's easy, but if you look at the scores of those games, they were close, so you won't say it's easy, right? But
Yeah, yeah,
But for Celtics, it was easy. If you blow somebody
yeah,
out,
yeah,
doesn't matter if it's 2 points winning. You blow them out, you blow them out. It's easy for you.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
when it comes to things like that, you kind of look at it that way, and that's why I feel like Mavs have more than what it takes to win the Celtics in the finals because they've just been through more.
they're
They've gone
ready.
through teams
Yeah,
that were
yeah,
naturally not injured too. Because Celtics had like injury prone sides that whole conference was injured.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Now let them meet
yeah.
a Celtics that has been through everything, and I want to see how they'll be able to withstand like Luca. Luca is the best player in the world. I want to see how they can like if they can do that. Then yeah, then we can talk about Celtics in a different way.
They
But
deserve to win. Yeah.
yeah,
Till then,
yeah, we
yeah.
go
To
watch
send.
out. So
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys have said, but
It was
honestly,
more
I
your
think
takes.
the big. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, okay. I was just saying that I think my biggest thing for this finals is going to be, how much Jason Tatum can show up versus a player like Luca. Like you guys said, who's going to defend Luca? Who's going to defend Kyrie? Like these are two of the best scorers that, like, not to sound like a pundit or anything, like that I've ever watched in my life. Like especially like just seeing some of the games that Luca has had in the playoffs, like a player that can come out and score 20 points in a quarter. Like I've seen that from him so many times. Like obviously this one was just insane because it was a game 5 against a team that was so good defensively, that was at home, and he just literally came out and destroyed them. So it'll be exciting. Honestly, my pick is Celtics. I want the Celtics to win, but Luca always has other agendas, so we'll see how it plays out.
yeah. I think Celtics are. I won't say perfectly placed to win this, but this is like I don't think they have a reason not to win this. They've been to the finals in recent years. They have the experience, quote unquote. They have the talent. Like I feel like they have everything they need to win. And this is one of those things where if Tatum is who he says he is, then this is the chance for you to take them over the hump. Like you're not facing an experienced Dallas team or anything like that. You're facing a team that is talented, less talented than you are. And then sure they have Kyrie who has the experience in terms of like he's battle tested in the finals and everything. But there's no if Celtics come out of this without the championship, then they'll get rightfully criticized as to they should have won. And then, obviously, look, even though Luca hasn't been here, we know Luca is that guy, right? So it won't be one of those things where they lost to an unworthy opponent or anything, but they would just simply be expected to win the series. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really good series, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I actually can't wait. I think it's going to be really exciting basketball, and I really feel like Luca is going to show us things that, bro, because that last game scoring
Yeah,
20 in 12 minutes is not normal, and I feel like he's on that vibe now. He's ready for the league. He's ready
yeah,
to talk
that's the
shit
man on the
and play
mission.
that. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm really happy for that. Honestly, like proper
Yeah,
basketball
and
is
I feel
back.
like he's had this to rest his knee as well. So I feel we're about to see a real battle. And let's also see if I don't know if Porzingis is back for the final. But yeah, that's I think that's also going to be an interesting piece of this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an X factor.
Well, technically ish. Not really. I like the storyline behind the trade between like Bozingas and Kyrie Irving. Uh I'm looking like a game 6, Mavs and 6.
Yeah. I have Mavs in 6. So that's like if I was predicting, I would predict Mavs in 6. I like Celtics are so unserious, man. Like unless they show us something different, something new, it's just hard for me to see them, become serious so quickly. And like, they've dropped games to teams that they have no business dropping games to, in my opinion, right? And I feel like those are kind of games that tells you how serious or how focused a team is. And when you lose those sort of games, like it makes me feel like, okay, you guys aren't serious. So yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
yeah, I
we
think
have a
Mavs
few
and
more
six,
minutes.
honestly.
We can talk about any other thing. Like we still have some time, right?
Yeah. There's something else I want to talk about that's skipping my mind right now. Um, yeah, I mean, it won't the Timberwolves series, right? I feel like how that ended was, I definitely didn't think Timberwolves would lose in 5, bro, and like it was so disappointing. Like
Hmm?
I couldn't really,
So they didn't deserve to lose in 5 in any way. They all the games that they lost by their own mistakes at the end.
but,
Like they
but,
were
but,
close games that they
but,
lost by their own mistakes.
But another way you can look at it though is like Ant didn't like Ant was the only person that was, and I honestly I don't think it was great that series. I think it was okay, right? And like
He had to.
if you're comparing what he did against Dallas versus what he did against Nuggets, for instance, like there was such a drop off, right?
Yes, you
And
have to
then you
compare what the roles he was playing in. But those players guarding Luca, you can't really be productive if you're guarding Luca. That's just
but
how it
but,
is.
but here's the thing though, I feel. And honestly, I blame the coach a lot personally. Like I was having this discussion with someone else, where like even like someone like Gobert, like I feel he gave Gobert too many minutes because I feel like there are a couple of those games where Gobert's minutes like hurt them a lot. And on that note of guarding Luca, like there was I think the first game and maybe one other game too, like he was guarding Kyrie as well. And it's just like you're such a good defensive team with options. There's no reason for your best player to be guarding, the other team's best player. And then the worst part about that is on this flip side, they were letting Luka rest on defense.
Hmm.
So it's like you're letting Luka rest on the defense, and then you're letting Luka and Kyrie go at your best player. Like, how
Hmm.
do you want that to play out, right? And
Yeah.
the other thing is like they were not hunting Ant or anything, right? Because it's not like Ant is a bad defender that Luca is hunting or Kyrie is hunting. So they were just letting it happen. Like, do you get what I'm saying? It was just like, oh yeah, Ant man, guard this guy or guard that guy. And so for me, it's like I feel like there were so many adjustments the coach could have, like, he could have made that he wasn't making, that for me lost them the series, or like at least didn't give them a fighting chance, right? And the other thing for me was Cats. Like I think Cats was, outside of one game, which was the game they won, it was horrid. Like it was terrible. It was terrible all series. So,
Even
you
that
know,
game was terrible. It just had a good 1 minute at the end. Like
yeah,
people just keep overhyping. But I get why they're hyping it, but still, you know.
yeah.
Um,
So yeah, so I don't know, man. Like
well, honestly, it was an underwhelming playoff. It was very underwhelming. I feel like the quarter or the semifinals was more interesting than the whole playoff because almost all the games went into like game 7, game 6.
7, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
every other series was just someone's getting swept, or it was just pretty much obvious what was going to happen. So I hope the finals is completely different. You
Different,
know.
yeah. I really hope so. But to the point you made, I agree. Like we had some good series, like Nuggets. Nuggets series was very good. Like the Dallas series prior to, but ultimately as a whole, the playoffs I don't think slap like that, right? And the only thing that can change that is how mad these finals are. Like the finals, if finals go crazy, it's very easy for us to just look back and be like, yeah, this was, these playoffs were mad. But like, if it's the finals that maybe someone gets swept or it goes to 5, like, yeah, we'll forget this. By the end of next season, would be happy that this played out and is done. Honestly, so
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, I think we can end it here.
yeah. So anyways, I guess we had a little technical difficulty and lost us in.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and so yeah, so anyways, I guess so the two things we wanted to speak about, like mainly, so like the Champions League finals and the NBA finals. So yeah, we'll definitely be back to speak more about it as it goes on. And we're definitely looking forward to like Euros being this year. We also have Copa this year, and I think there's NBA. There's well, not NBA, Olympics basketball coming up too. Even footy. So yeah, I guess this summer we'll definitely still have a bunch of things
But do you want to
speak
quickly
about.
just talk about like what we have planned for Euros, like the finals, for listeners if they want to join us in watching now on,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know.
So okay, so yeah, I mean, so for Euros, like we definitely will be hosting a watch party for the Euros final. So for everyone listening that is in Toronto, you can definitely show interest. Would definitely love to have listeners also join us to watch the games. Yeah, and then obviously once it gets closer to that time, we'll definitely put out put out more information on all of that, and then you guys can always RSVP and you know, let us know if you want to be there, and you'd get all the details. But yeah, I think outside of that, we'll see you guys on next episode.
Yep.
And
See you
yeah,
guys.
see
Thank
you
you for
guys.
listening.
Peace.
Peace.